Welcome. Can you believe it? It has been 3 power packed days. Our final teaching for the couples is the topic of do you have a partnership or a help me ship?
Wow. These days we have lots of couples in business together. So we created a hashtag couplepreneur blueprint to help those couples out.
Most basic definition of a partnership is the arrangement in which people engage in an activity of business with one another or share something with each other. Now, it's going to require all of the traits listed above. Now, let's see here. The top 10 traits of a partnership is trust, and both people are contributing, both benefiting,
Hmm.
support one another, vision,
Hmm.
similar goals,
Yeah.
skills, and strategy.
Wow. But the traits of a help me ship is going to be a little bit different. We found that oftentimes in business, it starts off with the intention of being a partnership and winds up being what we call a help me ship. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, just what in the heck is a help me ship?
Hmm,
Let me tell you a little bit more about a help me ship. In a help me ship, only one partner is benefiting. So there's not a mutual contribution. There tends to be a lack of trust. Only one person is contributing, so only one person is benefiting. There's division instead of one vision, and it tends to be more one sided.
So let's look at the pros and cons here. Pros are one person is very satisfied
Mm-hmm.
because they have all the help they need. Cons, the other spouse feels like glad they were able to help, but they may feel used or misunderstood. Also, feels like, what's in it for me? They feel unappreciated.
Wow. So, how do we handle that? I mean, for some of the couples listening to this broadcast, one of you might be an entrepreneur while the other one has a 9 to 5 career. We get it. We've experienced both sides of it. I mean, we were both 9 to 5 at one point. Then Eric was an entrepreneur, and Eric was also an entrepreneur. And then I had the 9 to 5. And then Eric was a full time entrepreneur. Now he's 9 to 5, and I'm a full time entrepreneur. So, truth be told, I see things from a totally different perspective now that the shoe is on the other foot. And the truth is that it's not that one aspect is any better than the other. Both come with benefits. Kind of like with the 9 to 5, you get guaranteed income on a regular basis.
Right.
But with the entrepreneurship, you have the freedom and flexibility to have your own schedule. You can pretty much work from anywhere. So you have more freedom. And that allows you to spend more time with your
That's right. So both have benefits, but when you are going into business, the ideal situation is that you can, number one, select a business in which you both enjoy equally. And number two, select a business that you're equally as passionate about. And you're going to select the right business, which is key for both of you.
Absolutely. But the goal here is to learn how to work together. Truth be told, we all want to add extra zeros to our bank account, and we get it. The goal for any business is to be profitable. But the key here is what? The focus on the skill sets that you develop while learning to work together.
Learning to work together. So we have to figure out our strengths and our weakness and the unique skill sets.
Newsflash, haven't you heard? Marriage isn't the only place you have vows. Now, I'm sure you may be wondering, what in the heck are they talking about? Now, hear us out. Your wedding day isn't the only place that you take your vows. When
That's
you're
right.
in the business, you have vows as well. When we get in business together, we make assumptions sometimes and not promises, but it needs to be the other way around. We need to make promises and not assumptions. So we have some new vows for people that are going to be in business together.
So when in business, you have vows. We vow to appreciate each other, our unique skill sets. We vow to appreciate one another despite differences. We vow to respect and honor each other as business partners. and as individuals. We vow to understand one another's perspective.
Mhm.
We vow to listen to one another. And that's something that that's key. You got to listen to each other. We vow to talk to one another and not at one another. We
Yes.
vow separate our business life from our marriage life. We vow to keep harmony in our marriage. We vow to respect each other's roles. We vow to cooperate with one another and not compete against one another.
So, your wedding days, that was just the first set of vows. You didn't realize that. You're going to have another set of vows as an entrepreneur. And there are multiple vows that you're going to take: vows of appreciation, vows of respect, vows of understanding, vows of listening, and vows of separating. Now, let me pause right there because there has to be a differentiation between work and family time and us time.
That's right.
Meaning at 7 p.m. is dinner time, that invoice that you're working on can wait. At 9 p.m., that time that's our alone time, that follow up email can wait. Do you get me?
Yes, baby.
Okay. Just so we're clear.
Of course. Equal does not mean that we both do the same thing. We're equal partners, but oftentimes we have separate roles.
Absolutely.
Just like in a marriage, we are equal partners, but one of us may do the dishes and the other may take out the trash. One may handle the bills while the other one handles the kids. Make sense?
Absolutely. We're both there to help meet each other's needs and the needs of our business.
So how to have the conversation when you don't think you're being heard. Step one, ask your partner, is it a good time to talk?
Yeah.
Step two,
Mhm.
when you talk to your partner, speak concisely, stay on topic, and convey the most important points.
Mhm.
Step three, pause between statements and ask your partner to repeat back to you what they think they heard.
You want to make sure that you're on the same page.
Exactly.
Now, be mindful. What we want you guys to understand, especially those of you that are in business together, that one spouse having their opinion doesn't equal disrespect, which can result in a shutdown in your communication. I mean, a successful marriage is built on love, it's built on respect and communication. So when you take away one of them, you open up your marriage to have strife. So it's important for spouses to realize that we're all going to have our own opinions, but it should not be perceived as a threat or as a sign of disrespect. Have you ever stopped to consider for a moment that your opinion isn't the only one?
Well, I have questions, I have concerns, but it doesn't mean that I'm not 100% in.
Mm,
When I vowed for better or for worse, I meant it and still do.
okay.
Now, just because one spouse may have questions or concerns, it doesn't mean that they are not 100 in. Have you considered that one spouse may be a thinker and just considering all possible outcomes?
Mhm.
Perhaps one you may have not considered. And that makes sense. So let me give you a personal example. When my wife and I first started working with couples, she couldn't see the big picture.
Mhm.
She had questions how we were going to help couples, and especially during our crazy schedules.
Mhm.
So you see, she had questions and concerns, but that didn't mean that she wasn't all in. It was just that she was looking at more of the details
Mhm.
and not questioning my judgment. It just means she wanted to make sure that we understand where we're going with this.
And the truth is, yes is not always the right answers. Truth be told, when you truly have a partnership, be it in business and in marriage, you don't need a yes person that's always going to agree with you. You want someone that's going to be able to look outside of your comfort zone and be able to speak the truth in love, because we all make mistakes. We have to be able to disagree without it affecting our relationship. Yeah.
No, yes, we must be able to disagree without it affecting our relationship. And that's something that It can be hard
It
because
can be.
when you're in business and you get like, you kind of get outside of your feelings
Yeah.
and hold things personal. But do you want your business to be good, but your marriage was strained and vice versa? You don't want that.
Understand that you are no longer a solo CEO. Now you do what?
We answer to each other.
That's a what?
This is a true partnership.
A partnership requires two people to be on board, not just one.
What about the emotional part of partnerships?
Ooh,
The emotional part of partnership, yep, showing up for them and actively listening to what they have to say.
yeah.
Showing you have interest in what they have to say and express love and support as they answer any questions you have. Validate their feelings.
Yeah.
Your focus is giving emotional support, should be providing your partner with safe space where they can feel heard. Show your support. If someone is expressing they need more emotional support, chances are they need help finding a way to feel emotionally centered again.
Oh. So, how do you run the business? Basically, it comes down to two words: teamwork. Marriage is about teamwork, and so is your business.
Yes, it is.
I mean, the idea behind teamwork in your marriage and your business is that both of you are working together to make this work, to get to that 100% every day. And if you both feel like you can't get there, you still need to be there to support one another. I mean, you need to value each other. You need to support each other. You need to cheer each other on. I mean, be considerate of one another and treat each other with kindness and patience. Because in a marriage, it's important to work together towards your end game. I mean, root for your spouse, support them in the times of weakness, help them keep running the race until you reach the finish line together. It's a lifelong journey, but a worthwhile one when you stick together.
Step one, realize that we are both equal. Try selecting a business that we can both be equal in.
Yeah. Step number two, try something new. Get away from the same old, same old.
Step number three, learn to focus on how to work together. The business should allow the two of you to focus on how to work together than having to completely start from scratch.
Yeah.
Figure out what each person's strengths are
Yes,
and then their weaknesses are, and then you can build from there.
that's true. I mean, for a couplepreneur blueprint, every couple should have the following. They should have a marriage can win business model. They should have a marriage can win financial model and a marriage can win communication model. Because those are going to be three key components for couples that are going into business together.
Working together in a pre existing business model has many benefits. So you basically determine who is going to be the spokesperson for the brand and who is going to be the responsible for marketing the brand, etc., etc., etc.
Mhm.
Every couples have a marriage can win business, meaning a business model, a financial model, and a communication model. Now, the business model, selecting your business, promoting your business, speaking about your business, aka pitching, webinars.
Now the truth is that's a lot of detail right there.
It
So
is.
we're gonna just leave it at that, and we'll definitely schedule appointments to go into more detail with couples that are interested. But what's one of the key benefits of that? I mean, having a marriage can win business model, there are going to be a lot of people that my husband can reach that I can't reach, and vice versa. But when we're both on one accord, it makes it a whole lot easier for others to operate on one accord. I mean, sometimes two is better than one.
Yes.
The key is how to utilize both talents and skills together and not against one another. I mean, let's be transparent. Women, we tend to multiply what you give us. If I can, I'm just gonna be transparent. I mean, have you heard that saying? If you give her a house, she'll give you a home. If you give her some groceries, she'll give you a meal. You give her some stripes, she'll give you some.
Hell.
Yeah. The same thing in business. A man can bring his wife into his business and it can explode.
Yes, it can.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are the rules? Rule number one, work with what we have and not what he or she has not.
Mm.
A partnership is not one-sided. It is not 50-50. It's each person giving 100% of what they have.
I mean, comparison. Actually, let's look at it this way. Rule number one, that's good. We're all given every 100% of what we have,
Right?
which leads to point number two, comparison. That's one of the fastest ways to kill a partnership.
That's
I mean,
right.
your pathway is going to be this is not going to be the same as everybody else's. You're going to have to be okay with that. And sometimes it results in that can result in undue stress and pressure, which can cause division in the partnership as well as in the relationship. So we're not going to compare, we're going to cooperate. Think about those power couples out there. You're Jay-Z and Beyonce, Michelle and Barack Obama. Do they spend their time comparing themselves to other couples?
Nope.
They just flow, right?
That's right. Key things to consider. Number one, men tend to go into business and it becomes their life.
Ooh, yes.
As a man, we are committed to something. We are all in, especially when it's our means for providing for our family. Now, the downside is that we often don't know when to turn it off.
Yes.
We keep going and going until we achieve our goals. At times, that can result in our spending excess time doing business and not enough time on our families.
Yeah.
Now, it makes us feel like we found our sense of purpose, but we can provide for our families, so we can tend to stick out our chests and get a little puffed up. Yeah, and it feeds our egos.
Put it back in, baby.
And
Put it
builds
back
our
in.
confidence.
They can't handle all of that right
All
now.
right.
Now, look, for women, as men, like my husband said, they tend to get into business and it becomes their life.
Right.
A lot of times with women, we get into business to have a better life.
Yeah.
So for women, you know, we can go hard, but we to know when to turn it off and just say, look, that's enough. We've been working hard. We're getting ready to go on vacation. We're getting ready to do a staycation. We're getting ready to do something, anything other than business. So we tend to be better at prioritizing, you know, no offense to the men, but we get into the business so we can have a better life, not for it to become our life.
No, that's true. That is true. Understanding needs to happen. Don't try to change your spouse. Try to understand them.
Ooh.
Rather than trying to fix your partner, focus on improving your own life. Many people stay in relationship with the unconscious desire to change their partner. I'm going to change that man. I'm going to change that woman.
Yeah.
So focusing on changing your partner can prevent you from focusing on the issues at hand. When you change your perspective,
Absolutely.
the way you look at things will change. This doesn't mean you should tolerate any kind of abuse or disrespect.
Absolutely.
Not at all. It means that your expectations impact the way you feel about your partner and his or her action. Now, it can prevent you and your partner from communicating honestly about key issues in the relationship. So focus on changing someone allows wounds to fester.
And that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to open up an opportunity for resentment to come in.
Not at all.
So you know what? Just remember this. All marriages are going to start the same way, with a vow. Regardless of where you are, what country, what nationality, the weddings start with a vow.
Successful marriage is based on the ability to keep the vows. So what it comes down to is your understanding of the vows and your commitment to keeping them.
So the truth is, you may need to create some new values.
That is true.
So if you think about it, the thing that you valued 20 years ago, definitely not the same thing that you value today. When I think about it, when we were in college 20 years ago, my husband valued his video games. And I just valued getting my degree and that's it. You know, but 20 years later, I'm focusing on our business, our family. So our values tend to change and we've got to be able to shift along with them.
Yeah, we got to keep up with our times. So keeping promises. Promises, you agree to work it out. To keep to the best of your ability.
Wow. But the truth is, some people along this path become vow deficient, meaning they're lacking in that vow department. is in some quality or element. I mean, there's some vow that he or she's expecting you to keep that you never even knew about. I mean, oh my God. Let me say that again. There's some vow that they're expecting you to keep that you didn't even know about. So this is what can cause frustration that we often experience in our business endeavors.
So there's an expectation that we don't know about. So what's next? When this occurs, there's an expectation that one of us didn't know about. Now we're upset. If we both agree to take a particular vow, if it doesn't get done, we're both held accountable.
Absolutely.
Not just you, not just me.
Both of us.
Instead of just pointing the fingers and playing a blame the game.
Oh my goodness, yes. But isn't it interesting how we place limits as if the terms our relationship can't be expanded? Now follow me for a second. I mean, if you think about it, and I'm sure the men can understand this.
Okay.
Like, if you have a contract with a cable company, just because you're contracted to get HBO doesn't mean later on you can't add Showtime, you can't add the Fight Channel, the
Showtime,
sports, and
Stars.
you know, sometimes you just have to make an adjustments and expand the terms of your relationship. And sometimes you may have to just write yourself your own little personal vow to remind yourself of things that you may catch yourself doing. You know, when you're in business with your spouse and you may find yourself getting a little snippy, you might have to write yourself a note saying, hey, I must be mindful to own up to my mistakes, be quick to apologize. And that's something that, you know, we're work in progress on. You know, that's one of my things. I'm working on it, you know.
Well, partnership is the only way to create the power couple.
Really?
That's right. For example, Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
See, when you have a true power couple, they have the power to overcome different obstacles. They have the power to inspire others to be in business together. As the power couple, you have the ability to make a difference. You have the power to inspire others. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that Donald Trump or Melania Trump, have you seen them doing anything together to inspire others? I'm sorry.
I think he does it all on, but it's negatively inspiring people right about now.
Well, then that's not necessarily a power couple.
It took the word right out of my mouth.
That's just a couple. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, okay. We'll leave it at that. So if working together creates power couple, then the couple who are unwilling to work together, well, what do you say? They're not a power couple. They're a weak couple.
Ouch. So our question today is, what type of couple are you?
Unlock your power as a husband and a wife through the power of partnership. To overcome obstacles, you overcome differences, and to inspire others to be in a business together, it's not what you look like, but the power that comes with being in alignment and being able to work together.
Yeah. Now, the truth is there are two different elements to that. There's going to be a financial element, right, which is like your family, but because your family security is a must. It's hard to work on your business if you're worried about your finances. That's why having insurances in place is a must in your businesses. So let me say this. That's how one of the reasons why we got into became financial services advisors, to be able to help other couples put their financial aspect in place. You don't want to have to worry about, okay, I'm the driver of this business, and if something happens to me, the business goes down. If I get sick, the business can't survive. You have insurances and different options that you can put in place so you could still take care and meet your financial obligations and still work on your business.
That's true.
So that's something definitely we'd love to have that conversation with you. But you need to make sure that you join us for our next Power Couple Digital Retreat, because we're talking about the financial aspect and the business aspect.
Exactly. Now, there are the traditional vows in a marriage. Man wants to take care of the household, and woman seeks security in the marriage.
So that's why we joined FFS, right?
Exactly. Yes, FFS is a It's a financial services company. And that's what she was referring to earlier. So now we've become licensed in about, what, 8 different states now
Yes,
to,
absolutely.
to be able to sell life insurances and retirement accounts.
Hmm.
But not only the life insurance that everybody's so accustomed to, but the ones that actually accrue cash value
Hmm.
and have living benefits.
Correct.
Yes, and if you want to find out more about that, just go to our, what is it, the Marriages Can Win page,
Hmm.
and click on the financial empowerment.
Let me ask them this.
Yes.
Now, for those of you that are listening, do you have the old, if I ask you this, do you have the old insurance or the new insurance?
Hmm.
And I'm sure you guys out there wondering. If you have to wonder, then you need to talk to us because
Exactly.
you need to, that's some information that you need to have. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for over a year now, walked away from a 6-figure salary as a pharmacist, but I was blessed with an opportunity, which is so funny. We were at a couples event. We were
Oh
speaking
yeah,
at about
speaking.
a little over a year ago,
Hmm.
and we won a free trip.
Right.
And when we got, I called to redeem the trip, and the lady answered, and she was like, I told her who I was, and I was calling to redeem the free trip. And then she asked me, "Well, do you know who I am?" So I'm looking at the paper. I was like, "Well, I guess you're such and such,"
Yeah.
And then she said, "Well, do you know what I do?" And then she started to tell me what she does and how she offers her clients the opportunity to generate additional streams of income,
Right.
to build generational wealth for their families. And she showed us how you can do financial analyses for your clients to help get them on track.
Right.
So people that are like in my situation that had health challenges, and I had to step away from a six-figure income, but I was able to step into a business that affords me the opportunity to make 6 figures and then some.
Right.
So, make sure that, if that's you, you want to make sure that you have everything in order for your family financially. You want to build generational wealth. You want to leave a legacy for your children. Send us a message right after this.
So, partnership versus help me ship.
Ooh.
You can satisfy both people's concerns.
If it's a partnership, absolutely.
But help me ship, only one person is satisfied.
Hmm. So we shared our story a little bit earlier about FFS, but we went through so many different challenges, and it was hard for my husband working full time. He worked, was it Lockheed Martin? And
Oh,
then we had
wow.
our own business, like a UPS store. And then we were
An
doing all
IT
kinds of
business.
IT business. I'm working as a pharmacist. We had 2 young kids,
Oh,
and
wow. That was
it
crazy.
was hard to try to do all of that when you're worrying, oh my gosh, if I step away from this, will this bill get paid? If I step away from that. So you guys, if you're going into business together, find a business where you can both be involved. You can
Right.
use your strengths, and that way you can help build that business together. And it's awesome, especially if you can find a business that's already established, so you can go in, you create and decide who's going to be over the marketing, who's going to be over the branding, who's going to be over pitching the business. And you could set yourself up to generate an additional stream of income. It may be 6 figures, heck, it may be 7 figures.
Right.
And we found out about that by happenstance, and it's been a blessing to us ever since. So we want to encourage those couples out there that are looking to be couplepreneurs, or you want a copy of this couplepreneur blueprint. Make sure you stay connected with us, and we can get that information to you. And then make sure you're signed up for our list, so when we release the details of that Power Couple virtual retreat, you'll be the first one to sign up.
Right. So now we really want to thank you so much for supporting this summit, and taking advantage of all of this rich knowledge
Mhm.
and this rich wisdom from all of our experts that we have enjoined, and to really helping you to really to, to be able to overcome the challenges of being an entrepreneur and having a marriage. It is so much coming against you, but now we've given you some more tools and strategies to overcome.
All right. So we want to see you go from the vow to the victory. We thank you again so much. And thank you again to all of our attendees who have been faithful in attending these last 3 days. We pray that was a blessing to you, and that you learned and you were able to take away so much, that you're learning how to deal with, stay out of the conflict zone, You learn what to do, have to have victory in the bedroom. You've
Yes.
learned what to do when you're waiting on God to transform your marriage. That you learned the communication quadrant. That
Yes.
you learn how to stay out the conflict zone. That you learn how to create emotional intimacy. That you
Yes.
learn how to have an awesome date night experience. And if I am overlooking anybody's topic, please charge it to my head, not to my heart, because I'm trying to go from my memory. But thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our dynamic speakers. We really appreciate you, and we'll be in touch soon. So make sure you stay connected with us. You can stay connected with us at Marriage Can Win on Facebook and Marriage Can Win on Instagram. And for those of you that took advantage of the free image, make sure you tag us on Instagram under Marriage Can Win and tag us on our Facebook page under Marriage Can Win. We want to see those photos. We want to see those anniversaries. We want to see those couples that are going from the vow to the victory. Thank you so much.